Why most people, or most midlife women, still feel tired, even when they're doing everything right. So if you're tired all the time and quietly blaming age, I want you to hear this clearly. What you're feeling is common, but it is not something that you just have to accept. A lot of women hit midlife and think, well, I guess this is just how it is now. Low energy, brain fog, dragging through the day, running on caffeine and grit. Anybody? And the most frustrating part, you feel like you're already doing the right things. You're trying to eat better. You're moving when you can, showing up for everybody else. So today, I want to talk about why so many midlife women still feel exhausted and why the answer usually has nothing to do with laziness, motivation, or willpower. The lie we've been told about fatigue our entire lives. Somewhere along the way, women were taught that exhaustion is just part of aging. That feeling drained is normal. That being tired all the time is the cost of getting older. I call BS. I don't buy that. What I do believe is that most women are walking around feeling depleted. Nobody ever explained what that actually means. Because tired doesn't always mean you need more sleep. And it definitely doesn't always mean that you need to push harder. Most of the time, it means that your body isn't being supported at a very basic level. Energy is a physical process, not a mindset. Here's something that changed how I personally look at energy. Energy isn't created by motivation. It's created by the body. Your cells have to physically make energy. The process depends on things such as hydrogen, oxygen, circulation, nutrient delivery. If any of those pieces are off, the body struggles, no matter how disciplined you are. That's why pep talks don't fix fatigue by any means, and why just be more consistent doesn't work when the system itself is struggling. It also is why calories in, calories out definitely, people say, oh, just eating a calorie deficit. Well, that doesn't work either. Not all the time. Or if it does work, it only works for a short period of time and then it quits. So the hydration piece, everyone skips. Let's talk about hydration because this is huge. Most people think hydration just means drinking more water. But hydration really is all about how that water moves inside of your body, what it does once it gets inside of your body. Water helps to transport the nutrients. It helps the oxygen reach the cells. It helps the waste get cleared out of the cells. So when your hydration is off, everything slows down. You can eat perfectly, still feel exhausted if water isn't doing its job. You may even be drinking a lot of water, but if it's not doing its job, it's not doing what it needs to do. Most women are chronically underhydrated, not because they're careless. You ever seen how many people walk around carrying a Stanley cup these days? You don't see, Yetis very often. That's what I have. I've had mine for years. Not because they're careless, but because nobody ever taught them hydration actually works inside of the body, especially as we age. So, why caffeine stops working? This is where caffeine comes in. At first, it feels like a solution. Coffee in the morning, another boost in the afternoon, but caffeine doesn't create energy. It borrows energy. If the foundation isn't there, hydration, circulation, oxygen delivery, caffeine just masks the problem for a while. Eventually, it just stops working. Or worse, it creates crashes, jitters, even more fatigue later. That's not a discipline issue. That's biology. Circulation, oxygen, and why everything feels heavy. Another piece that people rarely talk about is circulation. Blood flow is how oxygen and nutrients get delivered. If circulation isn't optimal, your cells don't get what they need. That's when things start to feel heavy. Movement feels harder than it should. Recovery takes longer. Mental clarity drops. You start thinking, what is wrong with me? Nothing's wrong with you. Your body's just asking for support. The overstimulated, under-supported body. Here's the reality for a lot of women. They're overstimulated, overscheduled, constantly on, and they're under-supported at the physical level. The body stays in survival mode. Stress hormones stay elevated. Energy production takes a hit. You can't mindset your way out of that. The nervous system, it needs consistency, fuel, and support, not more pressure. So doing smarter instead of doing more. This is where the shift happens. Most women don't need another plan. They don't need more rules. They don't need more self-criticism. They need to do smarter, not harder. Supporting hydration properly. Supporting circulation. Supporting daily inputs instead of forcing output. When that changes, your energy comes back quietly. Not overnight, not dramatically, but steadily. And you will notice it. But what real energy feels like, this is how you're going to know it's working. You're not wired. You're not crashing. You just feel normal again. People say, Tracy, I feel like myself again. That's what you're looking for. Movement doesn't feel like punishment. Your focus lasts longer. You get up and you want to go outside and walk. So when it's too cold, you want to do your work. Consistency stops feeling like a constant fight. Now that's real energy, not hype, not stimulants, not willpower. So this is your next step. If energy has been a struggle for you, the best place to start is with your hydration, but done correctly. Not trendy, not complicated, just supportive. So I put together a free hydration guide that explains this in plain English without any fluff, for lack of a better word. If you want it, just comment water in the comments and I'll share it with you. Sometimes the answer isn't pushing harder. It's finally listening to what your body has been asking for all along. You also can always go to my website, and I'll put the links in the description of this video. You can always go to my website, which is tracygunnels.com/start. That's my link in bio. And that the link to that free resource will be there. There's also other free resources there. Please take a look, go through there. I'm also working on getting a quiz added to it. So if you want to, you can take that quiz and just see where you are. It'll just help point you in the right direction. It's nothing crazy. It's only one question and then another question. So it'll point you in the right direction. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. And I will be back next week. Have a great day. Have a great week.